5 books and counting. The Tales from the Omni Vault continues to expand as a universe. Go ahead and check the links down in the description to get your copies today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Omni Viewer, and I'm here with 2 bits of entertainment news coming up, which are completely unrelated to each other. I'm going to be honest with you up front, but given what my audience likes, and given the traction that some of these videos have gotten in the past, and given the fact that I just want to get this all done in one video because I've got a bunch of other things I'm working on, I'm just going to throw them together because what the heck. So I'll relay the news to you in the order that I learned it today. First and foremost, something that doesn't have anything to do with Kaiju, but the subjects in question have been associated with Godzilla in the past. I speak naturally of Blue Oyster Cult. You may recall that just a couple of years ago, Blue Oyster Cult released their first new album in almost 2 decades entitled The Symbol Remains. And that got them signed up pretty much permanently with Frontiers Records. And they started a new tour, and they've been doing pretty well for themselves. I actually was lucky enough to see them live when they came to my town. And boy, I gotta tell you, that was quite a show. American Band also played there. I misidentified them in the follow-up video that I initially did, but that's beside the point. So, BOC had a brand new album that was really successful, as well as multiple live albums that had built up to that. So between that, their successful tour, and the recent completion of Albert Bouchard's Imaginos trilogy, which, yes, I will get to at some point, fans of classic rock, and BOC in particular, have been eating pretty well recently. So naturally, Frontiers Records came to the band and said, "That album you did for us was so great, we want another." And the band said, "Great, we really don't have the time, but we'll figure something out." And they did. Basically, the band went back and dusted off some of the old recordings of songs that existed. They were recorded in the studio, but for one reason or another, they never found their way onto the albums. They weren't revived for any new releases. They weren't included as bonus tracks when the albums were reissued. None of that stuff. They just sort of languished. And Richie Castellano, one of the current members who's basically filling Alan Lanier's role, or is it Laner? I've heard it pronounced both ways. People tell me it's one, and, well, whatever. He decided to be in charge of remixing it all, figuring out how to restore everything, because some of those tapes were pretty degraded, and figuring out what needed to be potentially re-recorded if necessary, even getting Albert and Joe Bouchard to come in and fill in certain spots that might be needed. The result is a compilation of songs recorded between 1978 and 1983, with one from 2016. All put together, finished, remastered, studio quality, and ready for release on April 12th of this year. I've already pre-ordered my copy, but, you know, I'm a super BOC fan who's been collecting all of their studio albums, so I had to. I just thought you guys might be interested to know. Their first single from the album, So Supernatural, with Joe on lead vocals, was dropped the same day as this official announcement, complete with a music video. And having listened to it, I can understand why back then it might not have made the final cut for the album. But in this day and age where, you know, a lot of time has passed and there's nostalgia for those days when the bands were actually good, I can see this being greatly appreciated. I mean, heck, it's a brand new Blue Oyster Cult song with Joe Bouchard on lead vocals released in 2024. Whoever would have thought that would happen? And I'm bringing this up because that Blue Oyster Cult album retrospective I did keeps getting action to this day, so clearly there are a lot of BOC fans out there. I would say this is one to keep your eyes on. Now for some Kaiju news. Do you remember when Titanic Creations got the official license to make a Gorgo figure? They said that they had plans for doing stuff beyond just the super articulated figure with all those accessories. They also wanted to do stuff like a graphic novel, an animated film, a whole bunch of things. So they announced that, they released the figure. Things got kind of quiet after that. I mean, granted, that sort of stuff takes time, but there weren't really any major updates Until today. Artist Patrick McAvoy, who did the illustrations for the Soul Wars graphic novel, released some black and white images from an upcoming Titanic Creations Gorgo graphic novel, which I'll be placing up here for you guys to see. He said there are no spoilers, and he made these public anyway, so I don't think there's any problem in showing them to you here. With the reveal of these images, he also announced that the graphic novel will take place in the same universe as Titanic Creations Soul War, but will also be a prequel to the 1961 movie from which Gorgo originates. So, early speculation that the plan of licensing Gorgo and making her, well, Ogra and Gorgo, part of the Titanic Creations universe alongside their original monsters, that seems to actually be coming true. And I assume they have the same plans for Pulgasari, Yongari, and any other monsters they might happen to acquire along the way. As far as the artwork goes, it looks pretty interesting. It seems as if the main antagonist might be the giant squid that keeps turning up, or maybe that's just an initial foe, but who knows, really. But still, the fact that this is officially part of the Titanic Creations universe means that Gorgo and Ogra will be appearing alongside Titanicus, Nosferodon, Scareus, and Griffixus at some point in the future. And this is one step in the process to actually making that happen. Now, what will happen with other stuff like that animated film? Will it just be a Gorgo solo? Will they be incorporating other monsters? Heck, who knows at this point. But I'm definitely intrigued. So, that's the major update on that front. Otherwise, pre-orders for the Yongari figure will be going up in a month or two. I think they said they wanted to schedule it for March, but we will see. Anyway, those are the two major bits of news I wanted to report. New Blue Oyster Cult album, new Gorgo graphic novel. Should be an interesting year. Well, no official release date has been announced for the Gorgo comic, but you know, at least there's progress. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni viewer signing off. Thank you all for watching. Now be sure to head down to the description to check us out on other platforms, as well as find links to the 5 current books in the Tales from the Omni Vault universe. Again, thank you all, and we'll see you next time.